So welcome to Training Tuesday, everyone. I am Heidi Reese, the Training Programs Manager here at Dayton Superior, and I'm sitting with Chuck Hoke, our National Training Manager. I hope that you got to see Chuck advertise us on social media for this month of Precast. If not, you need to get out there and friend, follow, stalk, or whatever you want to call it on all of our social media channels, and so you could check that out. Okay, we just want to go over a couple of items before we get started. Everyone who has joined is muted. Still want you to ask questions, and you can do that through the chat functionality in Zoom. I made a name, so I always sign in twice, and there's one that says Ask Training Tuesday Questions here. So if you have any comments or questions, especially at the end, we'll have a short mini question and answer session. Please use that to chat with me, and I'll get those stated to you, and we'll get them answered. At the end of the presentation, like I said, there'll be a mini question and answer, and we'll have Chuck and Adam, who is our guest speaker, work those out. Also, as a reminder, each of these webinars are recorded and placed on our Dayton Superior YouTube channel, as well as the DaytonSuperior.com website. Just search Training Tuesday, and you can find two links. One is to sign up for the Training Tuesdays, and the other is to see all of the past Training Tuesdays by the product type. Okay, so let's talk about all of the things that are in this presentation is intended for training purposes only. If you need any technical specifications for the products that are going to be mentioned in this training, please refer to DaytonSuperior.com. We have all product pages, landing pages, technical data sheets, safety data sheets out there, and they will be able to answer your technical questions. So who is Dayton Superior? For those of you that are not that familiar with all that Dayton Superior offers, we are the leading provider of engineered solutions and products for the concrete construction industry. We specialize in accessories like precast that we're going to talk about today, this month, chemicals, and forming. And we have proven results through our Simon's Forming Shoring portfolio with systems that are very adaptable, strong, and saves you on labor costs. We also have concrete repair and restoration products that can specifically formulate to meet the design specifications such as DOT or the BABA that we talked about a couple weeks ago, and new construction or retrofit repair needs. In addition, we provide bridge deck, rebar splicing, precast and tilt-up construction engineering solutions. That's a big deal. We have a lot of engineers that can help you with your products and what you need to have engineered out. All right, so today we're going to be discussing one of the precast systems called SwiftLift. And to teach us about the system and its applications is our Director of Business Development for Precast, Adam Stenberg. Adam has 17 years of experience within precast, engineering, and sales, and he is a licensed professional engineer. He has a Bachelor of Civil Engineering degree from the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, Institute of Technology. Within Dayton Superior, he has been a technical sales engineer, project and design engineer, and like I said, our Director of Business Development for Precast. And he's here to teach us all about SwiftLift using his past knowledge, current knowledge, all of his expertise. So get your questions ready. Go ahead, Adam.
Well, thank you for the intro, Heidi. Yes, we are going to discuss the Dayton Superior SwiftLift system. It is a versatile lifting system, and it's used heavily within the utility precast, heavy civil, and commercial precast industry. What is SwiftLift? It is a system that Dayton Superior brought to North America back in 1972. It is non-welded. It has heat-forged spherical heads and a heat-forged foot at the bottom of the anchor for anchoring into concrete. We provide these anchors and these hardwares with the standard OSHA 1926-704 requirements for precast concrete, which is the 4-to-1 factor safety for anchors and 5-to-1 for hardware. These anchors are available in 5 different sizes: 1, 2, 4, 8, and 20 tons. Like I mentioned, they're very versatile. They are used very heavily with concrete pipe and concrete manhole manufacturers, but their use expands well beyond that into precast wall panels, tilt panels, flat slabs, box culverts, you can really use it in just about anything. From a loading and an application standpoint, it's really unique that it has no weak directional loading. So it has the same capacity in shear as it is in tension. And we'll get into the capacities in our handbook a little bit further on here. And these anchors can be manufactured to almost any length. There's a large variety of tonnages and sizes that we stock in both domestic and import, as well as different finishes. We will provide these anchors with plain, no special coatings. We will also provide them with electrogalvanizing, hot dip galvanizing, and we can manufacture them domestically in stainless steel as well, with type 304 steel or type 316 stainless steel. The main two parts of this system are the anchors and the lifting clutches. And it's very important that these components are used together. It's very important from a compatibility standpoint of our products that you use Dayton anchors with Dayton void formers, along with Dayton Superior lifting clutches. These products are all labeled with our logo, the load tonnage rating, and the clutches are also serialized for material traceability on the raw materials, the raw steel that's used in that, as well as traceability on the load testing. All of our clutches are tested to 200% of the rated capacity. The anchors have similar details. The heads are all stamped with the load rating, as well as a Dayton Superior load logo, so you can ensure that you are matching proper components and tonnages to one another. Here is our lifting table that has the loading capacities for a lot of the common sizes of our P52 Swift Lift anchor. A couple of things to note here. We have quite a few different tonnages and length variations. Like I mentioned before, we offer sizes that are not in this chart. So if you have further information, please, or if you have projects that require sizes that aren't on here, please reach out to your Dayton Superior technical sales rep or myself, and we can help with getting you that information. The tonnage rating on here, for example, this 1-ton anchor, that is the mechanical capacity of that anchor. So that the most you can get out of that is 2,000 pounds. And you're going to see that similar rating for all of the other anchors. It's good to note that that's the mechanical limit, and anything less than that is an opportunity where the concrete strength itself is going to be the weak point. So we have different concrete strengths on here with different loading capacities, and that'll vary with concrete strengths outside of this table. So if you're looking for additional concrete capacity, safe working loads with concrete strengths that are not listed on this table, that's something that we can also help to provide. The minimum edge distance, this is a required edge distance to get these loading capacities. As you can see from this chart here, the edge distance is the distance from the anchor to the nearest edge. So as long as you have at least that minimum edge distance, you'll be able to get those loading values. Where anchors are used close to one another and you have a spacing between them, the minimum spacing that we require is twice the minimum edge distance for this system. Lastly, I'll mention the safe working load on this. These anchors are good in shear or tension safe working load capacity. This chart encompasses both. One of the common uses that we see these Swift lifts in is in concrete manholes. You see here on this picture, we have a build of 2 manhole risers with a manhole cone. Each of these has 2 Swift lifts in them for lifting. One of the benefits of this system is that there's no holes, so there's no requirements for patching. They're very fast and very easy to use in the field and in precast facilities. They also will do very well with hydrostatic testing because you have no through hole and the anchor is very tight and secured into the formwork. So they do very well for manhole tested, hydrostatic tested manholes as well. They're also heavily used with manhole covers. tops and the risers. They are excellent in both shear and tension, so they can be used as a side pick where they would see shear loading, or they could also be used in the top of a manhole cover slab where they would see a tension pick. Either will work great. Just please consider edge distances when designing and locating these into your products. They're also used a lot with concrete pipe for a lot of the same reasons that they are in concrete manholes. It's quick, it's easy. They can be used to strip the concrete pipe from their form. They can be used to move the concrete pipe around your yard. And they can also be used to install the pipe on site with a contractor and erector. They've been used successfully in this fashion in Europe and North America for many years. And they do not require any additional patching, and they can be utilized in low head pressure pipe, where if you were using concrete lift holes, you'd have to do extra patching. And that's not going to be an area where you'd want to have that used with low head pressure pipe. In concrete bases, and really any concrete flat slab, it's a huge benefit with the recessed anchors to not have anything protruding from your concrete. You're minimizing or eliminating the potential for damaging any of those lifting inserts or those protruding anchors, but you're also creating a shorter stacking and build height, so you can stack more product in a tighter space, where you might have forklift or crane limitations for heights on stacking. It's going to allow you to stack more product in a tighter space. Special care should be taken in the amount of pick points that you use. You can use 1, 2, 3, 4, or more pick points depending on the size of your unit. So please make sure to base that on the weight of your piece. And then special care should also be taken with the center of gravity of the concrete section that you're lifting up to ensure that that's a balanced, safe pick. Concrete box culverts is another very common use where we see the swift lift. Concrete box culverts are usually they get to be really heavy when you get to bigger sizes. So you can use some of our really heavy anchors with the 8-ton or the 20-ton anchors to be able to get to a 3 or a 4-point pick on a lot of your applications. Special considerations when using a 4-point pick. If you're using all 4 anchors, it's going to be a requirement that you have all of that loading balanced out to all of those 4 anchors. So you're going to want to have a balanced pick with a spreader beam, or you want to have sheave blocks or roller blocks, and that proper rigging set up to ensure that you're getting a balanced pick on those. Some other things to consider are the sling angle on that pick, and also any potential for dynamic or shock loading, as that will increase the amount of load that those anchors see as well. So if you're picking this up with chains and a forklift and you're driving it down a bumpy road at a precast plant or a bumpy road on a job site, those are things to consider when you're designing your system. The length of the anchor is also very important. So an important aspect to consider when choosing the length of your anchor is the anchor setback. Here you can see we have a different setback for the 1 ton, the 2 ton, and then also the 4, 8, and 20. So consider that along with the requirement to have at least 1 inch of concrete on the backside of the insert. That 1 inch below or on the backside of the insert is required to get to your loading capacities in the handbook, and use this to determine the proper anchor length for your situation. Here's a quick detail showing how the P52 is connected to our lifting clutches. This is actually the P50 lifting clutch and a P52 anchor that is cast in concrete. It is a quick connect system. You can see here that we are 100% engaged on the anchor as the lip is engaged under the concrete. Once this is engaged and you apply 400 pounds of pressure, the anchor is secure, and the shackle and lip are going to stay secured to the concrete. So once you set the concrete down and you're going to release the anchor, you simply extend the lip up to vertical so that the teeth on the lifting clutch are disengaged, and you're 100% off, and you can strip the shackle. We also carry and offer P59 shear bars in several variations. These are utilized in thin-edged precast elements. You can use this P59 anchor with your P52 anchors to develop higher capacities and to get heavier picks out of your anchors. It helps to transfer the load. These shear bars help to transfer the load deeper into your precast panels. And we also offer a custom P54 void former and these special P59 smooth wire clips, where we have a actual clip installed onto the disposable void former, which will allow a simpler and easier connection to create a tight fit with these shear bars onto your void former. As it's detailed here, here is like a P52 anchor, here's a void former, and here is the tension bar up tight against formwork in a thin slab. When rotating panels, a lot of these panels that are cast thin like this that have a shear bar, they're going to be rotated to vertical because it's likely going to be for a wall panel or some sort of project like that. So when rotating these panels, please be sure to check that your anchors are properly rated for both shear and tension, or the combination of both during that rotation. Another anchor that we have in this system is the P53 lifting eye anchor. You can see it detailed here. It has the same P52, or it has the same Swift lift head, spherical hot forged head, but it has an eyelet forged into the bottom of it. So this anchor is not, it's only rated for the full tension capacities when you have a P60 tension bar included with it. It's great for applications with thin walls. If you have a really thin wall panel or you have a column, it is ideal for those scenarios because it doesn't require as much edge distance as a standard P52 would. Here is a detail on how to install our urethane recess plugs. This would be our P56PL. We will show some more details on that a little bit later, but you grip that plug, you squeeze it so it opens and it creates this Pac-Man shape, and you can put the P52 anchor into it, and once you release pressure, it'll grip the anchor and it'll look like this here. Once that happens, you can put it into your form. You could float it into concrete and install it as needed. The next day, or once you've met your concrete strengths, you then come over with 2 screwdrivers or 2 steel rods, a couple of pieces of rebar, whatever your flavor is, and you can pry each wedge in the opposite direction and reopen it like Pac-Man, and it strips right off of your anchors. Real nice and easy. The P54 is our disposable Swift lift recess plug. It's a 2-part plastic. The disposable means that it's single use. I have seen people use it more than once, but it's designed for single use. This is used heavily with edge picks because it has a little clip here for the shear bars to be able to clip and lock into. We offer this in 2 to 4 ton historically, and we have an 8 ton that is coming out here in the next several months as well. Another key benefit of this for edge picks or for edge installations is that it has these nailing or screw holes where you can nail it into wood forms or wooden jigs to secure it to formwork. With our urethane P56PL void former, we have several attachment methods or attaching products that will help secure it to formwork. Here we're highlighting our P63PL, which is a holding stud with a threaded wing nut on it. And this works with the P66PL. So how it works is that this P66PL is installed inside of the void former. This plate can or cannot be used. It's not required. And then you would attach this void former up tight to your formwork, a jig, a stud, whatever your forming is made out of. And then you can thread this P63PL through your formwork and then thread it into this plate, and that'll hold and secure your product right where you want it to be. Here are several other attachment methods highlighted with our P56PL. The P56PL is currently available in 1, 2, 4, and 8-ton sizes, but it is also going to be available in 20-ton size here very shortly, which will be replacing our P56R void former. These are all red in color. They're manufactured from a durable urethane that resists tearing, heat, and also the chemicals that are used frequently in our concretes and in form releases. So we also sell a P68PL for attaching to formwork. This plate can be screwed or nailed into a form, and then the plug will fit firmly and securely onto these protruding pins. And we also have a threaded plate. This has a plate on one end and it has coil thread on the other. So you install this plate with the coil thread through the inside of the void former, and then that can be secured to your formwork, to a stud, to a jig, to hold your anchor securely in place. Two other variations of void formers that we carry. We have a P69M. This is the magnetic setting plate. This plate has magnets on the back of it, and it also has these studs and the holding plate shape into it, where our standard red P56PLs will fit right over the top of that. And then that magnetic setting plate can be stuck right to the side of a steel form by magnets. We also offer these P104Ss, which are a urethane void former that have magnets built into the product. So it's an integral magnetic void former. Here we have our lifting hardware. Here's our most common P50 Swift Lift Universal Lifting Eye. We've mentioned a little bit on the load rating and the markings on here, but I want to get into the use a little bit more here. So this bale is free to rotate 18 degrees in this direction and 180 degrees in this direction. These bales are multi-use, and they allow precast elements to be lifted, turned, tilted, and rotated while under load. We have a special lifting clutch that's recommended for edge picks, and we'll touch on that here in a moment. This is a quick connect and disconnect system. It is very versatile. It can handle both shear and tension loading. I won't get into the details on how to install this, as we did that slightly earlier, but I do want to mention that this eye can rotate 360 degrees around the concrete prior to load being applied to it. And then this bale can rotate 180 degrees. A special note, when rotating and lifting panels with this, you always want your rotation to be in the direction of your lip. That way it ensures that that lip stays tight to the concrete as you're picking and rotating these sections. Getting into another lifting clutch that we offer, here's our P51 lifting eye. This system is used primarily in edge picks for shear picks and shear applications. This is also free to rotate 360 degrees once it's engaged. It also has a safety pin, a gravity-fed safety pin that needs to be picked up when you're engaging the anchor. And then once the anchor is installed onto the anchor and your clutch is fully engaged with the head of your Swift Lift, that safety pin will set itself there. Very important with this product that you only use it at 90 degrees or less to ensure that you are fully engaged on the anchor. With all of our lifting clutches, they are a multi-use system. Please inspect your hardware before every use to ensure the safety of your project. And last but not least, we also offer a P52 with welded wire clips to it. These are used primarily in like bi-directional, bi-die pipe machines. or vibration pipe machines where the cages will rotate or spin within the form. In those circumstances, the anchors cannot be, and the void formers cannot be attached to the steel form because of that flexibility and how they move. So instead, these anchors can be attached to the welded wire mesh reinforcing with these clips.
All right, thanks, Adam. It's my turn, I guess. So guys, while I get to these resources for you, go ahead and put any questions you have through the chat functionality in Zoom. So as you're seeing on your screen, I referenced it in the very beginning, all the product pages that we had with the technical data sheets, safety data sheets, but we also have handbooks and guides, charts, and certification. You see a certificate of compliance there, specifically this one for the SwiftLift P50, 51, you name it. There's we have all of that on our website. So DaytonSuperior.com is your major resource to find out information. We're obviously here for you as well. And so we'll go through who to contact in just a second. But I wanted to also remind you, if you weren't able to make our engineering, I think I called it Superior Engineering Solutions, as one of the Training Tuesdays that we have out there. And we have this new thing as of a couple months ago. If you have detailed engineering questions, obviously we can provide the answers. It's a precision, it's quick and accurate, and it is also very detailed. So all of these different functionalities that you might need for customized engineering questions, we have the ability to work them for you. We'll find out who to contact in just a minute on that, but I wanted to let you know that it was there for you as a resource. In addition to that engineering, we also have just engineering regular questions. So there is a precast page, and if you look, let's see if I can do this here. If you are on the website and you go to services, and this is a screenshot, so it's not going to do it, but it'll drop down and you can find the engineering services, and it'll take you to the precast page. If you need a precast job information sheet and you need help with that for engineering, this will take you to the link and you can submit it. And if you need any technical assistance for precast, that will guide you into a very quick form to get you where you need to be, and someone would be in contact with you. We are here to assist you in your needs for engineering. So in addition, there is the engineering page that I referenced, the precast job information sheet. That's what it looks like right there. The technical assistance form, see, it's really quick. You just provide, we do it for a lot of them. So you just, in this case, would do precast in that drop-down list, and we will contact you and help you out. In addition, Chuck and I, among other, like Adam, for the segment leads for precast, we have some for tilt-up and splicing. We are here to assist you for your customized training, whether it be through Training Tuesday. If you need more customized training, please contact us at training@DaytonSuperior.com. And that goes to Chuck and myself, and we'll get back to you and figure something out. Okay, so I was yakking about the contact information. So on that website, when you go to the home page, there is About Us, and you can go into Contact. And you will get to a screen that looks just like this, with either the 800 numbers for your Simon Forming, technical assistance, Dayton Superior side, you name it. If you want to know who your person is as far as your dealer sales manager, your customer service representative, the Adams of the world, or he had mentioned the technical sales representative, all you need to do is click on the Dayton Superior and it'll bring up a map, and you can traverse through there and figure out exactly with a phone number to contact. All right, in addition, we have precast ENG@DaytonSuperior.com. That's where that form goes to. So that's another way to direct your questions. So with that, are there any questions for today's Training Tuesday? I think we have one. Okay.
Yeah, so the P51s and the shear bar application with our dog bones is something that you can use in thin walled applications. And it's really preference thing.
Let me stop you real quick and ask the question. So it says when to use the P51 lifting eye versus fleet lift system for thin wall panels. So I'm sorry, Adam, go ahead with your answer.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay. You're eager to answer it.
Yeah, so the fleet lift system, if you're using an erection anchor that has the shear tabs on it, that would be a preferred way, a preferred anchor to use for thin wall applications, because it has a tab that's going to fully engage when you're doing that pick. And it's really a preference thing. You can use either system. Through the years, we've seen a lot of people transition over to that system for thin wall applications. But if you like using if you like using P52s, that's a very suitable application as well. As long as you're using a shear bar and you're using that P51 lifting eye, it will handle those loads adequately as well.
Awesome. Is there any other questions, guys? So to put in a little plug, next week we're going to be doing a fleet lift system training Tuesday with Taylor. And then the next week we'll be back with Adam for the utility system, and then going back to Taylor again for the coil ferrule inserts. So if you haven't registered for those, go out to the Training Tuesday registration page, and you can do so right now, actually. Are there any other questions? All right, well, I want to thank all of you guys for coming. Thank you, Adam, for presenting and teaching us all about the Swift Lift. And just remember that these are intended for starter conversations on training. We can definitely provide you with more in-depth and customized. Like I said, just get with me and Chuck at training@DaytonSuperior.com. Send us an email and we'll be sure to get back with you. So
Thank you, Heidi.
You're welcome, Adam. I appreciate it. And all of you guys have a great Tuesday. See you next week.